My ex-spouse's transition from male to female is the fastest transition I think I have ever seen or heard
Wait,
or known about. And that has been
I can't hear what she said. If she said her ex, what? Let me start it over.
my ex-spouse's transition from male to female is the fastest
Her ex spouse transition. That's what she said.
transition I think I have ever seen or heard or known about. And that has been part of my struggle. I feel like for the first time, I'm really sitting here being like, oh my gosh, things are normalized. They're kind of how they're going to be for a while. And it's like life is a little bit calmer for the first time. And I look back at the last 4 years and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like the Courtney of 4 years ago just had no idea what was coming. So here's just a quick timeline. In April of 2022 is the first time that I came home to my spouse was wearing my bra and underwear, and that was the first time I ever knew anything was going on. In May of 2022, she officially came out as a trans woman, said the words to me, I am a trans woman.
Let me start here. Because I'm gonna let her finish, because this is quite she got a good little story to tell. If you come home and your spouse is in your bra and underwear, it's hard for me to believe that from dating to engagement to marriage to doing life with them, that this is your first time being aware that there was something in your spouse's mind or behavior that didn't show he was I don't even know how to say, like, he wanted to live an alternative lifestyle. Like, that's very hard for me to believe. I don't believe her. I believe she saw things and ignored it. That has to be it, because to automatically go into this idea of calling him a she tells me that, well, I would be reaching to say that. I was going to say, tells me that she just wants to affirm, and that means she saw it anyways, but I can't necessarily say that, because sometimes people affirm this delusion just out of the idea that means that they love the person, but that's not true either. But I don't believe it. But let me let her finish this, and then I'll give my thoughts at the end, because yeah, I need to hear more.
That whole summer was just, I told that story in another post. It was just a wild summer. And we were divorced by January of 2023. In April of 2023, she had facial reconstruction surgery.
Keep
I think
calling
they
him
did like
she.
nose, jawline, maybe cheeks, some eyes. I'm not sure exactly, but those are general. So that took quite a while to recover from. And then in April of 2024, she had gender affirming surgery. And then somewhere between April of 2024 and the following April of 2025, I don't know the exact timelines, I can't remember, she had breast augmentation surgery. She had a small revision on her nose. There was like some scar tissue. And then she had her second kind of step of gender affirming care. It's often a two-part process. Sometimes they can do it in one step, but I read it's very common that it's two steps. So all that to say, all those times I had the children, they are now 5 and 6. So between the times they were 1 and 3 and 5 and 6, they were just massive.
And they have children. Man, let me tell you something. People get online and lie every single day. And what I mean by that, it's one thing to leave out details, but it's another thing to bold-faced lie. There's no way this man, your husband, is doing all of this and you had no inclination. Like, he completely hid it from you. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. The human mind is too discerning, too attentive to patterns. Even if you ignore it, you saw it. Like, she might have ignored it, but she saw it. And she's just not saying that. Because there's no way this man is doing all of this as your ex-husband and you had no idea. But again, people tell these stories online for engagement and, for people to connect with them or sympathize with them. I don't believe her. I don't believe that she was unaware.
Chunks of time where I had them and had to navigate
I feel bad
raising
for the
my two
kids.
kids, working a full-time job. A year after my divorce, I got into a relationship with someone with 5 kids, and that was just chaos. My ex.
You see what I'm saying? So you go through this quote unquote traumatic divorce to where your husband is now, who you've had children with, is saying he's a woman. And within a year, you're not in a relationship with somebody else with 5 kids? Listen, I'm not saying she can't get in another relationship. Don't miss what I'm saying. I'm making the point that she's intentionally ignoring things, even if it means she's ignoring that it's not wise for her to just hop in a relationship. She's essentially ignoring things and then talking about it as if like, oh, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe it. I can't believe I got in a relationship after a divorce from my husband who transitioned into a woman, and I got with a man who had 5 children already and it didn't work. Stop it. Stop it.
I also got remarried in that time period and has now been married for like a little over a year, and it's just been
Her ex-husband got
so
remarried.
many rapid changes, and I'm now no longer with that person, so I had a 2-year relationship. We're broken up, so I feel like for the first time I'm able to like take a breath and just like pause and really reflect on how rapidly life has changed for me over the last few years. And yeah, it's just been wild. I will say, while I haven't seen as rapid transitions in many cases, I think she was very fortunate because she did have some insurance coverage and there's other things there. But I think maybe it's probably been better for my children because they are so young that this is mostly the person they know and will always see. But obviously, in this day and age, we have pictures, and my kids are always asking to see their baby pictures and videos of them as babies. So they see videos and pictures of their dad before transition. And so they definitely know that their dad.
When I'm gonna ask you an honest question, what children have you been around? Because I have a lot of nieces and nephews, and they've asked, "Oh, I want to see baby pictures of myself." People get online and lie every day. I'm not saying they didn't ask, but I am saying this sounds like she's making some of this stuff up. Oh, my kids are, they always ask to see baby pictures. Kids? Come on, man. Like,
as male before, and so like biologically. So there was one time though that my son saw a picture and he was like, "Who's that?" And I was like, "That was your dad," or "That is your dad." But like it was one picture that he just did not recognize his dad from before. So anyway, the rapid transition has probably been better to just, I don't know, rip the Band-Aid off type thing, but it's just still just been a ride. So
just don't hit just
yeah,
yapping.
I just, every other story I've read or seen, it's taken much longer, and it's just been much more of a process to either get approved to do these things or financially. And I don't know how any of that has happened or played out for them. Honestly, I'm at a point where I don't need to know. I, wish them well, and I just wish them happiness to be able to be a happy parent. The better their mental health and physical health is, the better parent they can be to my children.
She said her caption was the person she was 4 years ago had no idea what was coming, and that's what I want to kind of speak to a little bit. We have to be intentionally more discerning. We have to be more discerning. I don't believe she was as unaware as she's making out to be. I don't. I do feel bad for the children, and I'll say this: we don't know what tomorrow will bring. We don't. But can I tell you, if we choose wisdom, especially when it comes to things like, who we choose as a spouse, what jobs we take on, who we have friendships with, like who we're doing life with really closely, we don't know like what can happen because certain things are just out of our control. But I know for sure that there are no men in my life right now that think that they're women, that think that they're a woman. There are no women in my life right now that think that they're a man. And what I mean by that, like I wouldn't like if somebody in my life transitioned to a woman, I would have known like, hey, if a man trying to transition to a woman, which I don't know, it's not possible, but just for the sake of conversation, I would have picked up on something already. So I don't. To me, it's bigger than her, but her saying, "Oh, I didn't know what was coming." When we're doing life, if we include God, if we use wisdom, if we use principles, if we get counsel, and we're steadfast in striving for health, like healthy relationships, just wholesomeness overall in our lives, things like this don't just happen to us. You know what I'm saying? You may get sick, you may, somebody may get an accident, you have freak accidents and injuries, someone may pass away, things like that. You may get in an argument, you may find out something that's like painful, like, oh, somebody was being dishonest. But to transition into an entirely different person, that's not just how, things happen. Long story short, be discerning, be attentive in all your relationships, whether it's romantic or not, working, friendships, acquaintance, just casual. Be attentive, be discerning, because to me it says more about us and our attentiveness, our prayerfulness, and our discernment, than the other person. It tells me that she just ignored things. She didn't include God like in her decision making, because there's no way these things are unraveling in your life and you are being diligent about discerning the character of a person, the health of a person, like their mental and emotional health, their character, like all these things of the sorts, and so on and so on. So just so much can be said, but y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I think it's great conversation. Connect with the brand online at www.there'shopebrand.com. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.